Hello, my name is Carter Reed. Today we're going to be drawing a zombie and sketching them up. Right now you can see that we are working in Procreate, one of my favorite drawing programs. I use a lot of the different sketch tools that are on there. This is just a basic sketch tool out of the inking brushes toolbar. And we're drawing in the basic shapes of the zombie, making his teeth, kind of jagged and nasty. At this point, I really didn't have much of a plan for how this zombie was going to go. I just was sketching shapes, trying to find different volumes, different creativities, and just seeing where the drawing would take me. Sometimes when I'm drawing my drawings, I like to try to have different stories about what it is that I'm drawing. This one I wasn't quite sure. It was going to be like a self-portrait of me after eating way too many burritos. So I finished drawing my rough sketching, and now this is where I'm doing my inking. I really like the pen that I'm using. I can't tell you where I got it from, but it's nice and rough, and it gives more of a natural media feel to it. It's really fun to try different brushes on Procreate. I always thought it was kind of weird watching zombie movies. They'd always have that zoom-in shot from the teeth, and they'd show these nasty, gross, horrific teeth. But if somebody just, promptly dies, they've still got some good choppers there left. So I always thought that was a little bit odd. So unless they're British zombies, shouldn't zombies have, perfectly straight teeth? I suppose it doesn't matter. For the grossness factor, having big, gross teeth is the way to go. So I've made a separate layer, and I'm going over it with my my inking lines, just kind of reinforcing the shapes that I roughly sketched out. At this point, I was just basically like a generic zombie, but the more I started looking at it, the more I started thinking, it's got kind of weird old grandma-like hair. So I changed the direction that I had this zombie going from, kind of me after way too many burritos, to old grandma who probably had too many burritos herself, died, and came back as a horrific zombie. So started giving her some a little bit of jewelry. Here we're gonna start giving her the basics of a little old-fashioned pearl necklace. And here's one part where I really wish I would have spent more time defining the necklace. It feels a little bit off to me, but every drawing has mistakes, as Bob Ross would say. They'll sometimes turn into happy accidents. I'm not entirely sure that happened this time, but still. So I started decorating the zombie's moo-moo, giving it kind of like a little bit flower decoration, just for fun. I picture this zombie coming after you, some sort of a cotillion gone wrong. You look over at your grandmother, who's dishing herself up some snacks at the bar. She turns around, has this horrific face, pre-rotted, of course, and then starts coming after you. So now that I've finally got the drawing done, I'm filling in all the shapes with just a basic green. Not like your zombie has to be green. I mean, it could be purple, it could be pink, it could be nice peachy, gray. Doesn't really matter, but in this case, I decided to go with a basic green. So this is where I'm regretting not making better choices on the necklace, but you gotta work with what you've got at some point. Just move on. Not every single piece of artwork is going to be your greatest masterpiece. Some of it is just going to be practice. Some of it's just going to be getting you to a place where you can learn from your mistakes. My daughter is a great artist, and I tell her all the time, make as many mistakes as you possibly can as fast as you can, because that's the best way to learn. Making something that's just perfect right off the bat is the best way to slow yourself down, get scared, not make the right decisions. So give yourself the freedom to suck. So whenever I'm doing art classes and I'm teaching students, I like to tell them, give yourself the freedom to suck, to be terrible, because that's basically the best way to get better. Make as many mistakes as you can, as fast as you can, learn from them as fast as you can, and move on. So we're starting to work on Grandma Zombie's moo here. She's chosen a delightful, purple to go with her disgusting green skin. So we got kind of a little bit Mardi Gras colors going on. And very tasteful, pastel pink floral decorations on her moo. The moo is like okay, just a pause. The moo is like the weirdest article of clothing you can possibly get. It's basically like you're going to wear a tarp. My ex-mother-in-law wore, and this is personal, I don't care. It's my video, I can do what I want. My ex-mother-in-law wore nothing but moo-moos all the time. She was this crazy old bat lady. Just the strangest person you've ever... You know what? This video goes out to her. I think I channeled subconsciously my mother-in-law in this one. Ex-mother-in-law. Because it actually does kind of look like her. So she'd wear the moo-moo, walk around, generally make my life hell. So this one goes out to her. Sure, why not? So you can see me doing the shading on my mother-in-law moo-moo, wielding a zombie. And I'm not being really precise with my sketches. I really like this brush that I'm working with. It's kind of jagged. It has a lot of scratchy texture on there, which I think goes really well for zombies. And how I've made the shading is I've made one layer, goes over the top of all my colors. I paint with 100% black, and I drop the opacity down to, let's say, about 30%. And that lets me do kind of like a faux cell shading of all of my colors. Because, like I said, this is just a sketch. This is not, we're trying to make, fine art here. We're trying to make a really cool zombie mother-in-law. Oh god, I'm like PTSD just thinking about her like right now, but that's where we're at. So you can see that I've given her the blue short grandma hair. Drawing in the forms of the mouth. And I'm just kind of trying to rough where I think where the shadows would fall. I kept my teeth nice gross yellow because, why not? I had to pause the audio because my daughter came in and was, asking what I was talking about with my mother-in-law. I had to explain to her the awesomeness that is in-laws, but still. So I made this zombie just a little bit bloody around the lips. Didn't want to go. I wanted it to still be a little cartoony, so it's not like I wanted to splatter her up like really good. And like I said, I'm picturing this as a mother-in-law just turning away from the buffet just to turn around. You get that horrific moment when you see that something has gone horribly wrong and something horrible is about to attack you. It's a very D&D moment. She turns around. You see this horrific zombie coming towards you. So I made another layer. Where I'm doing my highlights, and I do basically the same thing. I put it on screen and put it above all my colors and do about 30% just straight white. Just really simplifies things so I don't have to choose like a lighter green or a darker green. I can just use the layer modes themselves. And you'll see that I'm going back over a lot of my stuff and choosing a smudge tool so I can just roughen up things. I couldn't really commit to the perfect cell shading. I wanted at least a little bit of a rounding around things, so I used the smudge tool with a very rough brush to try to do this. Now you see me, I'm putting like really hot highlights on everything. The sharper your highlights, the hotter they are, the more it looks wet. So put a lot of those on the lips and the gums, because this is a very juicy mother-in-law zombie. She's clearly angry. She thinks that I'm not good enough for her daughter. I'm not, but you know, she doesn't know that, so she can bite me. Well, apparently that's what she wanted to do. Now I'm working on the background. I just kind of smudge it up. I don't really know what I'm doing on this this background so much. I'm just kind of winging it, trying to get something that I think fits the mood. So I just kind of rough it in what I want, hit the blur command, and keep that as my background. Like I said, make a lot of mistakes. It's no problem. My next one will be better. So I darken in all the edges. You can see me playing with a lot of the values. And because I can't leave things just well enough alone, I need the zombie to say something. Hugs. Which is something my ex-mother-in-law would say all the time, and he's just go, oh, yeah, I need to hug Matt. No. And there we go. So thank you very much for watching my nonsense. If you'd be so kind, please go hit like and subscribe in the videos, and I will see you next week when I will bring to you some more strange drawings from the back brain of my insanity. Thank you very much. Bye.